past 3 years, UDOT has been preparing an environmental impact statement to study a potential transportation corridor in western Davis and Weber counties. This video will explain the process we've followed to date and the next steps. An Environmental Impact Statement, or EIS, is a document required by the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA, for projects which could significantly affect the quality of the human and natural environment. UDOT is the lead state agency, while the Federal Highway Administration, or FHWA, is the lead federal agency and will select the final preferred alternative. As early as 1965, a western corridor has been studied. Since that time, there have been multiple transportation planning studies in western Davis and Weber counties. While local planning studies help communities plan for future transportation needs, they do not perform the in-depth analysis that is required by NEPA. This EIS meets the requirements of NEPA and is the final stage before a project can be funded, designed, and constructed. The EIS kicked off in January 2010. In the scoping phase, the study team gathered input and ideas from all interested parties and assessed transportation needs through 2040. The scoping phase included 3 public open houses and an official public comment period. The purpose and need analysis showed that by 2040, if all planned projects, including roadway and transit, are built except for the West Davis corridor, the miles traveled in congestion will increase by an estimated 378%. To address this need, the primary purpose of the EIS are to improve regional mobility and enhance peak travel period mobility. Secondary objectives are to increase connections between transportation modes, support local growth objectives, and increase bicycle and pedestrian options. In August 2010, more than 500 members of the public participated in 3 open houses to identify alternatives that met the purpose and need. 46 preliminary alternatives were identified to be evaluated. These included new roads, widening existing roads, and transit improvements. Level 1 screening determined that 14 alternatives met the purpose and need. During this time, we continuously met with various stakeholders and groups to receive input. Level 2 screening evaluated which of the remaining alternatives minimize community and environmental impacts. Of the 14 alternatives, 3 were advanced for further study. In February 2011, we presented the 3 alternatives at a series of open houses. Over 3,000 people attended and over 5,000 comments were received. Numerous refinements were made to the alternatives to avoid or minimize impacts. These refinements brought the 3 alternatives down to 2 with their respective north and south options. These 2 alternatives, A and B, were released to the public in October 2012. From February 2011 to April 2013, impacts to resources including air quality, noise, wetlands, wildlife habitat, neighborhoods, historic properties, farmlands, and many others were studied. The draft EIS is a comprehensive report that describes the purpose and need for the project, the alternatives that were considered, the impacts of those alternatives, and which alternative UDOT prefers and why. The draft EIS also considers a no-build alternative. Note that the draft EIS includes only UDOT's recommendation of a locally preferred alternative, not a final decision. The release of the draft EIS will be followed by a 90-day public comment period. This period will include a series of open houses and public hearings for the public to provide feedback. We remind you that this process is not a vote, but rather is intended to gather new information or feedback. UDOT will closely review the public comments and may make adjustments to its locally preferred alternative or recommend a different alternative in the final EIS. The final EIS will then be submitted to FHWA for approval. When the final EIS is approved, UDOT and FHWA will make it available to the public for a period of 30 days. After the 30-day period, FHWA will prepare a record of decisions stating its final decision. Thank you for watching. We invite you to visit the study website to learn more about the process and how you can be involved.